Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lauren, if you didn't know. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I keep up my faith at college. PSA or FYI, this is not my usual kind of video, but this is what I was vibing. So if you're kind of not into the whole faith thing, I won't be offended if you don't watch this week and just come back next week. I'm not trying to convert anybody, push anything on anyone. This is just something I felt like talking about this week, okay? So, cool. So, quick little facts about me. I'm Catholic and I was raised Catholic, went to CCD, youth group, confirmation. I've been singing my church choir at home since I was in 3rd grade up until I graduated high school. So I was going pretty much every week for choir, and then it just kind of became something I was, interested in doing for myself. I knew that it was going to be different at school because, for one thing, I didn't have, choir that I was supposed to be there for. It was kind of an obligation type thing. As for another, I, would be going by myself. There was no one. I would consider God would hold me accountable and I would hold myself accountable, but there was no one else to be like, hey, you didn't go to church today, why didn't you go, or did you go, or anything like that. It was kind of all up to me. So I, was a little anxious last year. I wasn't really sure where I was gonna go. I was definitely looking around to see what kind of churches there were in the area, and I did notice a couple churches. I didn't see any Catholic ones right near campus, but I was like, oh, well, there are churches in walking distance. Then but I guess during Welcome Week, we have something called Temple Fest. So I remember I was walking around just trying to get a sense of things, and I saw a table. Well, I saw a big cross and Catholic, and I was like, aha, Catholics. So I went over, and it was for the Temple Newman Center, which I didn't know that this was a thing, but now I do. That for universities, they're all called Newman Centers at different schools. It's not just a temple thing. I didn't know this at the time. I found that out when I called my mom. So I, signed up for some more information about that. I found out they had mass at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. and I thought 11 a.m. sounded like pretty nice time because I didn't have to wake up very early. So, and it was just, it's not quite in the main chunk of campus. It's little off, but it's not really that long of a walk. It was maybe 10 or 15 minutes from where I lived last year and maybe slightly shorter from where I live this year. It's not very long. As long as it's not raining or anything, it's a pretty nice little walk. Campus is dead on Sunday mornings, so it's just very relaxing to kind of go through. But anyways, I was nervous because I wasn't sure who was all going to show up because I didn't know anybody. I ended up sitting next to a girl who, although we don't talk too much anymore, it was nice to meet her last year. We both, were wearing floral dresses, so we bonded over that, and, there was a brunch thing, and we hung out a couple times in the year, and it was nice to kind of start meeting people. I also met one of my now, best friends through the Newman Center, and some of my other friends, I found out they went there kind of as the year went on, so that was pretty cool to kind of see people from other parts of campus that were also getting involved in some kind of religious group. Now, I really liked about the Newman Center was how, the main thing was how easy it was to get there. It's more of a chapel feel than a church feel, but honestly, I still love the feeling of resetting my week and, having a little time with God on Sunday. So I really do try to go out every Sunday unless I'm away, because obviously then I'm away. But I think it's just really nice, and even though there's not a full choir, I did sing all last year kind of with the cantor, the musician, and a couple other people, just to have a couple voice parts on things and to just, sing loudly enough that the congregation also wants to join in, because it can suck to really be singing by yourself. And I have so far continued to do that this year, even though the main cantor, he graduated, so we have someone new. So, it's nice to kind of feel like there's a little bit of a tradition that I'm, making for myself at least, because I love singing religious music. I think it's one of the best ways for me personally to kind of pray or be with Jesus and God is by singing religious music. I think, I don't want to be vain, I don't have the best voice in the world, but I do have a decent voice, and I feel like if I use the gifts that God gave me to help improve other people's worship, then that's something I want to keep doing. So yeah, along with going to church, I also have been slightly involved with a couple other groups, primarily one called Young Life. I went to some of their events last semester, and I really liked kind of talking to more like young people about, you know, different elements of the faith. And that was like a non-denominational Christian group versus just like a Catholic group or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I have a class when that meets this year, so I so far have not been able to go at all. But I'm hoping to still go to some of their like big events that they meet up with, like people from all over Philly, because I can't go to the weekly events. Maybe next semester or next year it won't work that way, but you know, I have to, you know, go to my class, obviously. There's a couple other groups that I kind of investigated a little, and once again, I'm not sure if I'm going to go to all the meetings, but I definitely am trying to keep in touch with like the big events, because I like meeting people who are open about being religious in some way, because some people at times I feel like it's so like not cool to be religious, and like I don't really care about that, but I just like talking about it and kind of seeing how other people's experiences are. So I love, you know, trying to find a community like that. And honestly, everyone is so nice. Like if you're really like open about your faith around temples, from what I've noticed, like everyone is very welcoming and kind. You know, I was a little nervous. There was one of a more conservative group, and I wasn't sure if I would kind of feel like accepted because I am bi. And I talked about that to one of like the leaders, and she was so chill about it. So talking about like how although they may not like preach that, they're really all still about like loving and accepting and including everyone. And I just felt like really great after that conversation. I remember feeling anxious before talking to her, so it really calmed my heart, honestly. I am trying to see if I can make like a Bible study as well this semester. Unfortunately, a lot of times they meet in the evenings, and I have one night class, but I also work 2 evenings, and I have a meeting another evening, so my evenings are kind of booked this semester. Once again, next semester I may try to reschedule things differently so that I have more evening. I think I'll probably try to have more evening availability. I don't know, I thought I would rather schedule my work like later in the day so that I could not have to like freak out about my afternoons, but now I'm like, I kind of want an evening, so the things you learn. But yeah, it's kind of just like a quick little video. I think for me, it's just because I know I wanted to make my faith a priority, and that like made me do it, and I put it in the calendar, like mass, you know, every Sunday, that's something I do. So whether or not you're religious at all, like if there's something that you want to get out of any experience, whether you're in college or whatever, if you make it a priority and you tell yourself you're gonna go and get yourself out of bed or wherever, once you do that a couple times, you'll make a routine, and you know, if it matters to you enough, you'll do it. And that's pretty much how I've, you know, kept up my faith, and I think it's honestly gotten stronger since I've come to college, and not, you know, not that I was like weak in high school, but definitely because I'm pushing myself to come here, and I've gone to some discussions and everything, and I'm, you know, excited to see kind of where it takes me in the future. So yeah, kind of different than my usual videos, so if you didn't like it, please don't like unsubscribe. I feel rejected. I'm just kidding. Anyways, have a lovely week. I will see you next time. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Please give me a comment. I love your comments, and I will, yeah, see you next time. Bye guys.